Yo, what's up, guys? Hello, guys. So, I have I have a thing I want to say in this video, and in this speech, I'm going to be talking about worth. So, right here, I have a $100 bill, and I'm going to demonstrate this with you, and also, I am going to be talking about worth in this video. So, your self-worth, okay? People don't think that they're worth anything because of their circumstances or because they feel like they've been put down or put away by people. So, let me ask you a question. I would ask you, do you want this $100? Do you want this $100? Now, I think everybody watching this video at home would be like, yes, I want this $100. Well, you would want this $100 because, well, it's worth $100. So, what if I threw this on the ground and just started stomping on it, okay? And I picked it back up, and I asked you, do you want this $100? You would still say yes, even though I just stomped on it. So what if I crumble this $100 up? I'm not actually going to crumble it up too much, but what if I crumble this up? And if I uncrumbled it and I asked you, do you still want this $100? You would say yes again. Regardless of what I did to this $100 bill, it did not change its value, it did not change its worth, and it did not change the fact that you wanted this $100. So the fact of the matter is that regardless of what life does to you, people will still want you for how you are. Regardless of what life has done to you, regardless of what people have traded you, what people have said about you. The fact of the matter is, people talking behind your back is what makes you relevant. What if I go and I throw this thing on the ground and just start kicking it and just treating it like absolute crap? Would you still want this $100? Yes, you would. You would say yes. And the fact of the matter is that whatever I cannot do anything to this bill. In a traditional sense, I cannot treat this bill bad enough to where it goes down in value. I cannot, even if I tear this bill, it still is worth $100. And as long as it has both of those serial numbers, it still is worth $100. And I could even go to the bank and get a new bill. I could take this to the bank and get a new bill. So, the fact of the matter is that this $100 is still worth $100. No matter how badly treated I can treat this bill, it is still worth $100. No matter how much I put this bill through, it is still $100. The fact of the matter is, no matter what life does to you, you are still worth $100. This bill is still worth $100, and you are still worth. People aren't gonna care how badly you have been hurt. You're still got all your worth. You've still got all your worth, regardless of what life has done to you. So that was a thought exercise of what I wanted to say today, because You still matter. You are still. You still hold the value of your worth. Because life is going to put you through things. Life is going to bring you down. Life is going to make it where you feel like you can't live, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, or I can't do this, or this can't work, or that can't work. I can tell you right now that there is nothing that can't be solved if you're willing to work for it. If you want a problem to be fixed within yourself, then it's up to you to fix it. I hate the terminology can't. I hate it when people say I can't do this, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can do anything. You can do absolutely anything. There is nothing that you cannot do if you're willing to work towards it. If you're willing to do anything to get to that point, you are able to achieve all things, regardless of what it is. There is no such thing as you can't do that, or you can't do this, or you can't do this, or this, or this, or you can't get that. Oh my gosh, I'm sticking mic. Or you can't do this, or you can't do that. There's no such thing. You can get that position at work. You can get that position. You can do this. You can do that. And there is nothing I can do to make this $100 bill not worth $100. There is nothing I can do. So, think for a minute. Think for a minute. Actually, think for a minute. What do you really want out of life? What do you really want out of life? And I'm almost done. But like, what do you want out of life? Where do you want to make it in life? Actually, think a minute. It could be something very simple. It can be something very extreme. I mean, like, what do you want to do at school? Do you want to join a club at school? Do you have a club you're interested in joining at school? Do you have, a girl you want to ask out at school? I mean, do you want to, go to a place that you really want to go? Like, do you want to go to Top Golf, amusement park you want to go to? I mean, it could be something that could be done just in the next couple months, or it can be done in the next couple of years. Like, do you want to live in a penthouse and be racking bank? I mean, do you want to just live in a regular old apartment? I mean, making $30 an hour? I mean, what do you want to do in life? There's no one size fits all thing at all. There's no one way to go in life. There's many different ways to go in life. Many different ways. In fact, there's no one way to go. That's why when you're going down the road on a GPS, there's multiple different ways to get to one place. Like if I'm going to Cincinnati, Ohio, or Louisville, Kentucky, or if I'm going to Columbus, Ohio, I can take multiple different ways. There's a faster way, there's a slower way, there's a medium way. If I wanted to go to Louisville, Kentucky, I can take the interstate, which would be a whole lot faster, or I can take the back roads. If I wanted to go to the Newport Aquarium in Newport, Kentucky, I can take the interstate to get there, or I can take the back roads. Regardless, there are always multiple ways to get to the same destination. There's multiple different highways I can take to get to Cincinnati. I can take 71 south. I can take 275 east. I can take 75 south. I can take, there's so many ways to get to one place. Kind of like in life, where there's multiple different ways to get to a different place. Multiple different ways to get to the same place. So really think, what do you want out of life? Because when you degrade yourself, when you start to think something can't be fixed, or when you start telling yourself that this can't be fixed, or that can't be fixed, you start degrading your own worth. You start degrading your own worth. As I discussed in the beginning of this video, no matter what I do to this bill, I can throw it, toss it, throw it in the trash. I can even stick and stomp on it. I can throw it on the ground and stomp on it, but no matter what I do to this $100 bill, it will still be worth the $100 bill. So no matter the struggles I go through, no matter the storms of life, no matter what happens to me, I will always be worth my same worth. I will not go down in value just because I went through something hard. This $100 bill didn't get devalued because I threw it on the ground. It got valued. Its value doesn't come from its circumstance. Its value comes from the label. Same thing, our values don't come from our circumstance. Our values come from the fact that we are human beings. And all human beings are deserving of life. Same thing with this $100 bill. That this $100 bill isn't valued based on its circumstance. It's valued based on that it's a $100 bill. That we can say the same things about ourselves. Our value doesn't come from being anything but $100 bill. That's just it. We're worth $100 bills. That's it. This is a $100 bill, and we're worth far more than this $100. But this was an example that I can come up with because it goes for show that I can treat this bill so horribly, and it's still worth the same amount of money. I'm about to wrap up. I am solely about to wrap up here. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed this motivational speech, if you want to make more motivational speeches, then make sure you drop that like button. Smash that like button, guys. Turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post, guys. I love making motivational speeches. It's so much fun helping people realize their true worth, not being valued based off of how well people treat them. We are all guilty of, putting ourselves down and we are all guilty of beating ourselves down, beating ourselves up when we're already down. We are all guilty of that. But it's okay to be down. It's okay to be in a bad spot of life. But it's not okay to continue being down, to continue hating yourself and hurting yourself and doing all that. That's not okay. But being okay doesn't always mean, you know, you're going great. But being okay means that you're willing to work in that circumstance and get better. Back in September of last year, I made a big long speech about revaluing, like revisiting our stance. Because sometimes we may take a wrong stance on things, or we take a wrong idea of something, and we can go back to revise it and things like that. Like, I'm wearing a Cincinnati Bengals t-shirt, okay? Regardless of how many games they win, regardless of how many games they lose, regardless of, if Joe Burrow is healthy or not, we are still the Cincinnati Bengals, regardless. And that's the most beautiful thing, because you don't have to have 50 Super Bowl wins to be happy about your team. I don't think there's any teams in the NFL that have 50 Super Bowl wins. But I was just using that as an example, because you can be proud of your team at any level. So, anyways, guys, I think I am about to sign off here. If you enjoyed this speech, as I did, make sure you drop that like button, subscribe. Yeah, you're worth a lot more than this $100. But this $100 was used as an example. Anyways, guys, peace out.